Hello everyone. Welcome back to yet another episode of the Let's Talk show. Today we have a very special guest. Ma'am, please introduce yourself.
Namaste. Hello. I am Ketki Nayak. I am a professor by profession, also an ex-banker. I have got banking experience also. So I'm very glad to come over here. It gives me immense pleasure to discuss some candid discussion with you all.
Absolutely. Ma'am.
So looking forward.
All right. Ma'am, as your forte goes, it's mostly in the business and economic side. So I'm going to start with the basics first. So if you would simply explain it to me as a 5-year-old child, that what is the very basic meaning of the word economy or economics?
Economics, actually, the bookish term, as the name says, it's a Greek word known as home management. Okay. Okinomikos, right?
Okay.
The way you pronounce. But the meaning is home management. So economics is something which we have learned from our childhood. Our mother is actually using economics. Everybody is using economics. Economics is simply choosing between whatever we have in the best possible manner. That's it. So for example, if I have got only 2 hours with me and I want to go for some study also, I want to watch a movie also, I want to cook also, which is the one which I will prioritize? And whatever I do, it should be the best one. Whatever, as per my opinion, I think cooking is very important for me right now rather than studying right now. So if I select that out of the given options, right, that is simply the meaning of economics. Every country is doing the same. Every country won't have the resources, every resource.
Absolutely.
We are laborers country, right? We have abundance of labor. So we are utilizing labor intensive techniques more. Some countries don't have labor forces.
Right.
So they ask people from other countries to come over there and work. They have technology. So in short, whatever resources we have, making the best optimum utilization of those resources is the basic meaning of economics.
So, ma'am, in the modern world, how would you say that every country has implemented economics in their governance?
Every country actually since beginning is doing that, because as I said, not all countries are blessed with everything. Not
Right.
even US,
Right.
not even any European country, not even India. Right? We were one point of time, we were called Sone ki Chidiya, where we had abundance of gold and money and all. But we all know the history, how the things have gone changed. And of course, we are most fastest developing nation. We are good in technology. We have got very brilliant minds with us. Right? But at the same time, we are somewhere lacking behind providing the opportunities. So if I talk about US, the people over there are, of course, they are having technology and everything. But I won't say everybody over there is smart. Smartness can be there anywhere. Intellectuals can be there anywhere. It's about how we are utilizing the talent. So every country in their own way, whether I am having rich sources of minerals, I am having good iron ores, some labors, right? Technology wise, right? So whatever resources I have, I need to make sure that I can use it to the best, fullest manner. OPEC countries के पास क्या है? They have oil.
Right,
They
right,
have petroleum. तो पूरा दुनिया उसके लिए उनके पास आता है. Right, so they are making the best out of it, but at the same time, they are lacking many other facilities with US and other countries have.
True.
So every country in their own way is using economics. Even we all are using economics.
Very true. All right. So the next question that I have is, one of the very common questions that comes often related with economics is why do the prices keep going up? Like, they say that it's because of inflation, deflation, hyperinflation. There's a lot to it, but the very basic question is that why do the prices keep going up? Because even I have noticed that at around when I was in the 7th or 8th standard, the petrol prices were below 80 rupees, right? And if you check right now, it's all the majority of the states have it at least 100 or above 100. Like, I'm from West Bengal and it's well above 100. It's like 104 or 106 rupees right now. So what has changed in the course of history that caused this rise in prices?
Okay. See, when we talk about why prices rise, there is not a very straightforward answer to it.
Right.
Price rise because of many reasons. Okay, if I talk about the theoretical answer, more demand, less supply, price will rise. Okay. This is what economics is basically talking about. If I have got 10 people asking for a water bottle and I have got only one water bottle to sell, I will sell it to anybody who is paying me more. This is the simple fundamental. Now coming back to reality. When we talk how the prices are rising, petroleum is as such one of the most necessity product nowadays. As of now, till now, we have got some substitute, but still they are progressing, not the exact substitutes. If I say why the prices of petroleum as such are rising, there are many reasons behind it. First of all, our increasing population, our standard of living. Now everybody can own a two-wheeler. Before many years, or in 90s, 20, 30 years back, not everybody could own a two-wheeler. It was a dream to own a two-wheeler, and four-wheeler was a very big, lifetime achievement kind of a thing. But now everybody can own a two-wheeler. When you have these kind of demands coming up every now and then, the required resources to satisfy those demands are very less. Fine. So if 9 out of 10 students are asking for a two-wheeler, and petrol pump has got limited petrol supply with them, so what's going to happen? Secondly, we are not petrol producing nation. We are dependent on other countries for the petrol, right? So if I'm taking it from Saudi Arabia, Oman, or any other OPEC nation, right say, ठीक है, उस केस में I need to pay them the taxes, the charges, the tariffs, etc. So as of now they have got limited supply, and entire world's economy are asking for petroleum from them. As India is growing economy, highly populated, we demand more. And as and when we demand more, the prices as per the government's rule, whichever ruling party is going on or whatever our government is deciding, the import duties, all this has to be paid. So how will they be, disseminated on the common man? So when I am paying my taxes, I am also paying something to government, and the government in turn is paying the import duties. Because I am not dealing with Arabia. I am not dealing with OPEC nation. My country is. But when my country is getting it at a very higher cost, where that higher cost will go? It is going to be borne by the common man. Right. And until and unless we don't find a substitute for petroleum, and of course between the negotiation between our two nations or different nations, the ever increasing prices will be there. So either we have to, find out some solution, go for some, better options.
A follow-up question to this.
Okay.
In history, and even in the contemporary times, it is often seen that many economists have framed that the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, right? It is a very common phrase. So, is it true, or is it just something like hypothetical?
I won't again give a straightforward answer to this, that it is either black or white. It is grey.
Okay.
Rich are getting richer. Maybe they know how to make money. Poor are getting poorer. They don't have, they value the money, but they don't have the opportunity to make the money. Basically. So, see, in today's time, if I compare Ambani, Mr. Ambani, Mukesh Ambani with a common man, I won't call him a poor, but obviously the income gap is too high. So how can he get more and more money? He has got that many investments. He has got that much power. He has got that much diversified funds to invest. So even if he is getting loss in some or the other business, you can say the overcoming is easier for them. Fine. In case of a poor person or a common man, if I say, right, here the struggle is between earning, saving, investment and growth. Wahan par, even if you are not understanding the value of money, even a rich can come in the poorer category. We have seen, there are so many examples, Vijay Mallya and all of them, right, they are just leaving the country, right, kya kehte, chale hi gaye hain. Fine, we are looking out for them. But at the same time, if you don't value, if you cannot manage the money, I won't say value, but managing the money, the chances are the hard-earned money again will go back. Right. So there is an issue of understanding how to manage the money in the most proficient manner. Even a poor person, or I would say a less, less, kya kehte unko? Less blessed person with money in terms of money. Right. Even he is getting enough opportunity to earn money. The thing is that when his total daily living is asking him to go for 80% of his salary, how can you expect him to become a millionaire in 2 years or 5 years down the line?
Very true.
So there is a whole story behind increase in money. Nowadays, a lot of investment tools have come up, which is actually giving you a good future help. कि future में आपके पास apart from your job, there would be other ways also to have some income.
Right.
But that not everybody is knowing, not everybody is utilizing. Jabki as a rich person, you have got ample amount of money, ample amount of businesses to get the money from, right?
Right. Okay. So you mentioned a very interesting word. It was investment.
Okay.
And since most of our audiences are the youth, the thing that we call as the Gen Z people.
Gen Z people.
So, how would you say that the Gen Z should get into investment? Like, should they start with with a simple SIP, or should they go into stock market, Bitcoin, anything?
Bitcoin, I won't recommend Bitcoin.
As in cryptocurrency.
I understood. But I won't recommend Bitcoin right now. As of now, let it,
It's very
it is still in its
expensive.
infancy phase.
Yeah.
And but yes, for investment, I would say, see, since childhood, our parents have taught us, महंगा है, सस्ता है,
हाँ.
बहुत महंगा है, अभी नहीं ले सकते, थोड़ा प्राइस डाउन करने की कोशिश करते हैं.
True.
पैसे हैं तो भी, क्यों? क्योंकि उनको वैल्यू है पैसे का. ठीक है, उनको पता है कि ये चीज जरूरी नहीं है, एक टॉय आप कम ले लोगे तो चलेगा, हाँ, लेकिन आपको स्कूल के एजुकेशन में आपका जो भी स्पोर्ट्स का एजुकेशन है उसके लिए कम नहीं पढ़ना चाहिए. तो हियर यू आर प्रायोरिटाइजिंग द थिंग्स. सेम वे फॉर इन्वेस्टमेंट एज अ यूथ, एज लेट्स से अ पर्सन बिटवीन 18 to 30 years फॉर एग्जाम्पल, राइट, एज अ स्टूडेंट ऑल्सो अगर आप गिन लो, तो यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड वेयर यू आर एक्चुअली पुटिंग योर मनी, वेदर इट इज अ नीडेड थिंग. अगर आपको आईफोन चाहिए, ठीक है, आई अंडरस्टैंड नाउ एवरीबडी इज आफ्टर आईफोन, विच शुड बी देयर, अच्छा है, फीचर्स नीड भी हो सकती है, बट वो आईफोन के सामने आप कितना पैसा डाल रहे हो? इज माई बजट इनफ टू परचेज एन आईफोन? सेकेंडली, डू आई रियली नीड एन आईफोन? राइट, तो वो प्रायोरिटी हर एक की अपनी होगी. सेकेंडली, फॉर इन्वेस्टमेंट आई विल से कि जो भी हमारे पास पैसा है, वेदर इट इज माई पॉकेट मनी, वेदर इट इज माई पार्ट टाइम जॉब, एनी फुल टाइम जॉब, एनी इंटर्नशिप मनी, one should understand at least 20% of it you should keep aside. Manage your funds accordingly. आपकी सैलरी कुछ भी हो, 10,000 हो या 1,00,000 हो, प्लीज मैनेज इट इन सच अ वे, और ये आदत डालना पड़ेगा that you are saving that fund. And once you start saving, then you will think of investing the fund. Right? I can't just jump into investment. मुझे पता ही नहीं म्यूचुअल फंड काम कैसे करता है, तो मुझे क्या पता चलेगा? आप बोल रहे हो स्टॉक मार्केट में डालो, एक बार नुकसान हो गया तो मैं कभी लाइफ में नहीं डालने वाली. Right? But before going on to the second step, let me take the first step. You have to understand which things are needed, which are utmost important, where I can save the money. Right? Try and compare, because your generation or Gen Z people are very, you can say smarter enough. You have got many options. You can compare online. There are so many things. मुझे शॉप के शॉप नहीं जाना, मुझे सिर्फ आजियो और मेशो को कंपेयर करना है घर पे बैठ के. और अगर मुझे चाहिए, आई वॉन्ट टू वेयर गुड क्लोथ, ब्रांडेड क्लोथ, आई विल, ऑफकोर्स आई विल, बट देन आई हैव टू कंपेयर. मेरा 50 रुपया कहाँ बचता है? क्यों मैं कार में जाऊं? क्या मैं शेयरिंग में जा सकती हूँ इफ इट इज सेफ एंड एवरीथिंग, राइट? सो लाइकवाइज स्टार्ट डेवलपिंग द हैबिट ऑफ बीइंग इकोनॉमिकल. यू कैन लिव अ गुड लाइफ with being economical also. No need to spend lavish amount on lavish things. वो सबका अपना है. I can't, it is a subjective thing. But at the same time, understand your own priorities, understand the hard work and the hardships done by your parents, your elders, and now with you. So there are so many students who are studying from other states like you, right? So you know the traveling expense, you know the staying, living expense, etc. सोचो, अगर वही पैसा अगर आप 5 स्टार में रहोगे तो कितना खर्च होगा, 3 स्टार में, और अपने लॉड्ज में अगर सिंपल रहते हैं तो कैसा होगा. यूज दैट मनी अकॉर्डिंगली, try to save the money, and then find out the various options. The best option I will say, start with an FD. Why to go for an SIP? एक recurring deposit करिए ना. Recurring is just like an SIP, which is actually giving you a fixed return. जो काम FD करता है वही recurring deposit करता है, लेकिन वो हर महीने कटेगा. यहाँ पे FD में आप lump sum amount डालोगे. SIP is what you are investing into market, right? That too with the help of some fund managers. That which they will be investing by their own expertise and everything. So as an investor, as a starter, I will say that you should invest with a fixed income. So you can start with an RD.
As in the recurring deposit. Okay. So now, at often times people confuse, and people even get it wrong or right, that economics is related with money. So as a philosophical question, would you agree that money can buy happiness? Of course, with your age and experience, I believe you have seen enough.
Money can buy happiness. It can. Sometimes. It can sometimes, of course. You buy me an ice cream, I'm happy, right? If you don't buy me, I'm not sad also. It's okay. But the thing is that it cannot be a generic statement for everybody. But yes, I will definitely advocate that money is a vital vitamin for all of us. The way we need vitamin D, sunlight, other vitamins A, B, C, etc. We need vitamin M also. I cannot skip that. Okay, my love, my care, my attitude, it's not going to stay forever. For basic survival, I need money. If the way I want to live a lavish life, for that I need money. But that money has to be earned by me also. I cannot expect somebody else to work for me, somebody else to, give me the money all the time. My parents have done, na? Since for a long age, they have done, right? I cannot only rely on my husband. Why I am an educated person, right? I need to earn my own money. I need to earn my own bread. Right. So every time I can't say that money will always buy you happiness, but yes, it matters. It definitely matters. आपको IPL देखने जाना है, आपको मल्टीप्लेक्स में जाना है, आपको अच्छी गाड़ियों में घूमना है, आपको अपना 2-व्हीलर लेना है, आपको लैपटॉप चाहिए जो नेसेसिटी है, आपको आईफोन चाहिए जो नेसेसिटी है, खरीदो ना, अपने पैसे से खरीदो. डू वॉट एवर यू वॉन्ट विथ योर मनी, राइट? बट वो पैसा फिर आपका होना चाहिए, और पैसा फिर ऐसे भी खर्च नहीं करना चाहिए कि सब कुछ ही चला गया. So money can buy happiness, right? But subjected to, you can say a lot of things, a lot of conditions. तो ऐसा नहीं है जिसके पास पैसा नहीं है वो दुखी है, वो भी खुश है. लेकिन अगर पैसा आएगा तो वो अपनी फैमिली को, अब खुद को एक अच्छा स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग दे सकता है, जो हर कोई देना चाहता है. अगर मुझे कोई बोलेगा आप विला खरीदो, मैं क्यों नहीं खरीदूंगी? I will work hard. I would like to get a villa. I would like to go to other places, Switzerland, other places. Why not? But as of now, I am not dissatisfied. Right? So money can buy happiness at times.
But it's subjective.
Yes.
Right. Now let's move on to a very interesting term. It's called marketing.
Okay.
Right. So I will ask you the cliche question first. That if there was one advice related to marketing that you would like to give, what would it be?
Be ethical.
Be ethical, as in like sell the products
ethically.
Ethically. Okay. So now into marketing, I have seen with the new age companies such as Zomato, Swiggy, Zepto, and all. Especially Zomato and Swiggy's marketing team, the way that they send those zesty notifications,
personalized and everything.
Right. So is that a part of their marketing campaign, or is it just to attract sales?
It is a part of marketing campaign, it will ultimately land up to increasing the sales. It is, but somewhere down the line, it is hampering your privacy. It is causing distraction, disturbance. Every now and then, you don't have to give me a notification, eat something na, have an ice cream, eat a cake, likewise. But yes, it is a marketing gimmick. They are trying to, explain, or they are trying to reach to customer as hard as possible. So in today's time, we have notification. Now I don't have to go to companies. They will notify me. You received a new mail.
Right.
Okay, there is a new offer. There is a new sale going on. So likewise, even Zomato and Swiggy people, because they are dealing with one of the roti, kapda or makan wala need. So they are providing us the roti. And it is a wonderful platform. It is a wonderful app, I would say.
Absolutely.
Because yes, Zomato has helped many people in terms of employment, in terms of feeding also. Because many a times we are unable to reach at our places, distant places, and Zomato people are helping, reaching on time, providing the food, etc. But at the same time, yes, they are using various marketing tactics, right? Getting more and more informing every now and then, giving an alarm that you do this, do that, karke. So it's a plan of marketing, I would say.
So just a follow up to this. So does this mean that brands become more emotional and personal in order to market and then ultimately occupy sales?
Yes. Nowadays it is need of the hour, because now, with every new generation or with every new scenario, new kind of things will emerge. तो पहले क्या होता था, एक तो जब अगर आप 80s या 90s का बात करें तो टेलीविजन सेट्स ही था, उस पे एक पर्टिकुलर लिमिटेड टाइम पे ही सीरियल आएगा, उसी में पर्टिकुलर एड आएगी. इतने डिस्ट्रैक्शंस नहीं थे, इतनी कॉम्पिटिशन्स नहीं थी, इतनी ब्रांड्स नहीं थी. ठीक है, मारुति ही एक अकेला ब्रांड था गाड़ियों में, बजाज का ही स्कूटर होगा. लाइकवाइज अब जैसे जैसे टेक्नोलॉजी आ रही है, जैसे जैसे व्हेन वी हैव स्टार्टेड अडॉप्टिंग द LPG, from 91, liberalization, privatization and globalization. Since 2000 we have seen enormous growth in every sector. So अगर हम कहें तो पिछले 30 सालों में जो इंडिया ने ग्रोथ देखी है वो इतने सालों से नहीं देखी थी. And with this, after 2020, due to COVID कह लो, due to digitalization कह लो, now we all are okay with the online stuff also. So when I say कि marketing में this thing, when you want to sell something emotionally, अब मैंने आपको प्रोडक्ट बता दिया, ठीक है, मैंने आपको डिज़ाइन, प्राइस सब कुछ बता दिया, वो तो दूसरा वाला कॉम्पिटिटर भी बता रहा है. What else I can do? So now the things are, they are trying to understand the emotion of people. Just like Instagram, they catch up the emotions. Now you people are happy, I'll show you good things. Now suppose you are feeling sad, I will try to motivate you. Same things brands are doing. They are trying to understand the emotions of customer. They are trying to vouch on those emotions and then sell the product.
Okay, so it has become an integral part of how brands and especially the big short companies work, right?
Yes. And thanks to this kind of awareness among the consumers, wherein now due to digitalization we are able to voice up our opinions. So पहले क्या हो रहा था कि even if the product is not good, ठीक है, आपने अच्छा प्रोडक्ट बनाया होगा लेकिन मुझे नहीं पसंद आया, पर मैंने उसके लिए कुछ कहा भी नहीं, मैंने खाया नहीं खाया, मैंने साइड में रख दिया, या ड्रेस लिया था तो नहीं पहना, छोड़ दिया करके, right? But nowadays due to this online stuff or digital world, I am raising my voice that I have paid you money.
Right.
Please provide me an option, alternate दो, पैसा वापस करो. Likewise, जो भी आप सर्विस इंडस्ट्री में हैं तो, अगर आप कोई और प्रोडक्ट इंडस्ट्री में हैं तो, so now people are understanding their own rights. So I won't say that online stuff and everything is very, very, has darker shade. In fact, online things in the sense digitalization has given up a voice to every consumer. जो चीज़ पहले आसान नहीं लग रही थी, अब हर कोई कर रहा है. Now I just have to follow an app, I just have to message some commissioner, this is the problem, I have paid the tax, क्यों रोड का हाल ऐसा है. पहले तो हम सिर्फ चिल्लाते थे, सिर्फ गुस्सा करते थे. Nowadays we are messaging सीधा कमिश्नर, वडोदरा म्यूनिसिपल कमिश्नर और anyone, sir, we have paid the tax, क्यों लाइट चालू नहीं है, right? So likewise the things are now changing. The only thing is that we need to understand where to put the limit of that. That it's not all about the rosy pictures. Social media is there, it is a wonderful platform, but it is not only to showcase the glamorous side. It is there to help us, assist us in reaching out to many, many people in whatsoever manner.
Right. Okay. So now moving on from this, so luxury brands, the top 1% brands, Gucci, Louis Vuitton and the like. So why are these brands like thriving in times of recession? Because of course they are the rich brands, their prices are like
very high,
very like high soaring
niche
prices,
products are.
Right, but still they are thriving even in the periods of recession. Like how does this happen, or why, or how are they able to do this?
See, the people who can afford Gucci or Louis Vuitton, they are hardly 1%. Right. First of all, and recession, I doubt whether it matters to them. It is going to hit the middle class first, only the middle, lower middle, poor section of the society. So of course recession matters. पर अगर टमाटर का भाव 10 से बढ़ के 20 रुपया हो गया, तो how does it matter to अमिताभ बच्चन? How does it matter to him? उसको तो लुई विटॉन में डिस्काउंट नहीं भी होगा तो भी ऐश्वर्या राय is going to purchase the things, right? So when these people are targeting only one particular section of society where money is not the criteria, a substantial manner, right? For see, when we discuss economics, ना, there are two things. One is price, another is demand. आप कभी भी कोई होटल में जाओगे, रेस्टोरेंट में जाओगे, आपका पहला नजर प्राइस पे गिरेगा, बाद में पढ़ोगे कि भाई खाने में क्या क्या मेन्यू है करके. फाइन. फॉर अ नॉर्मल इंडियन और पीपल, मोस्ट ऑफ द इंडियंस, प्राइस मैटर्स. देर आर हार्डली 1 or 2% of Indians for whom price doesn't matter. Everybody would like to come in that category, but this is a fact. Now when Louis Vuitton kind of companies, they are facing recession or something like that, they know their customers can afford the products. And they offer, I won't say how they are marketing the things, but yes, they offer some kind of incentive so that these people are retained in the business.
Okay.
तो मैं वैसे भी Louis Vuitton नहीं लेने वाली थी, तो रिसेशन अगर आ भी गया तो मुझे Louis Vuitton मेरे लिए वैसे भी कुछ नहीं करने वाला, right? So likewise, luxury brands are targeting some people.
Right.
And at the end also, when they know them, they have money, Ambani's have money and Amitabh Bachchan's and these people have money.
Right.
So it is just a matter of some days, you
True.
can say, where they can, afford many things.
Now, like related to these brands, why do you think that brands invest so much in like branding themselves, in like marketing themselves as the products and not their actual products? Like, the most famous example that I can think of is the car manufacturer Lexus. Right. So what happened was, in America, Toyota was very predominant because their cars were very reliable. The engines were like really good. They were like getting huge number of sales. But then again, like whenever people asked that which car you drive, they were unable to say because it was a widely available car. It was a mass made or mass produced or imported car. What Toyota thought of was, let's make a luxury brand which is meant for US, which will be exported to US. So Lexus came from there. Luxury exported to US.
Okay.
Yeah, so the word Lexus, it came from there. So now what started happening was they started marketing themselves as the higher end car. So now what happened was, whenever if you owned a Lexus and if I owned, let's say, any other car, if I asked you that which car do you drive, you won't tell me that I drive this model of the car. You would tell me that I drive a Lexus. So this like sort of branding, are companies investing in this type of branding? If yes, then why? Like, what is the sole purpose?
See, in this changing economical conditions, or with the changing diversified economy which we have, our standard of living has increased.
Right.
Since last 10-20 years. Now
Right.
everybody can afford a good living, a house, 2-wheelers, even 4-wheelers. Smartphone is a necessity.
True.
Right? We can travel to so many places now. Right? We can have EMIs, we can have credit cards, etc. Now companies are understanding this change of standard of living. तो पहले क्या है, मारुति वाला आएगा नहीं मुझे बेचने के लिए. He knows कि भाई मेरा टारगेट इतना है and these people can't afford Maruti 1000 also. So there is no point in going over there. यहाँ क्या हो रहा है अब, companies are aware कि भले ये the consumer is unable to purchase, let's say, Ertiga, or let's say some kind of high brands like Nexon or any other brands, right? But they know they will be able to avail a credit card, they will be able to get a high-end loan, EMI options.
Yeah.
Due to the increasing standard of living, now people are looking forward to purchase many things which were earlier not possible for them to purchase. Now coming back to your question, why brands are now showing off this kind of things? We know Tata has Westside. We know Tata has Zudio.
True.
Now the popularity of Zudio has outlined Westside. Westside is there since many years. 20 साल से ऊपर हो गया शायद.
True,
ठीक
yeah.
है, Westside is there. But still it was not, I won't say it's a failure brand, but not as successful as they wanted it to be. टाटा ने नैनो भी बनाया है, टाटा ने अलग कार्स भी बनाया है, ठीक है, कोरोला या कुछ और भी कार उनकी बहुत सारी हैं,
बहुत सारी
है ना, क्वांटास, आई गेस there are many such brands, right? So when you want to deliver something good to people, obviously Tata products are good. I'm not endorsing any brand, but yes, when you want to give good products to the people, you want to tag it with something which they can be proud about. तो मैं अगर ये बोलूं कि मैंने दुकान से एक अच्छा सा टी शर्ट लिया या एक अच्छा सा अपैरल लिया, उससे अच्छा मैं ये बोलूं कि मैंने ज़ूडियो से कुछ खरीदा. So it itself talks about a brand. I have taken a branded garment from somewhere, a branded apparel from somewhere. तो जो चीज़ें पहले लोगों के लिए बड़ी बात थी कि मैंने मर्सिडीज ओ किया या मैंने कोई बड़ा ब्रांड लिया है, BMW लिया है, ऑब्वियसली आज भी वो बड़ी ब्रांड्स है, लेकिन साथ साथ में मारुति के बड़ी बड़ी ब्रांड्स जैसे एस्टीम हो गया, कोई दूसरी ब्रांड्स हो गई, अर्टिगा हो गया, दे आर positioning themselves in such a way that yes, people can relate it as a bigger brand. You are not only becoming a commoner, you are not only purchasing something which is very readily available, you are getting good products at a reasonable price and that too with a brand name. So you have purchased a Tata product. हमने किसी भी शॉप से कुछ भी नहीं खरीदा है, हमने टाटा का एक प्रोडक्ट खरीदा है जो टाटा एंडोर्स कर रहा है, और कल उठ के अगर वो प्रोडक्ट में कुछ खराबी भी निकली तो टाटा विल बी हेल्ड अकाउंटेबल फॉर देम. टाटा ग्रुप ऑफ कंपनीज,
Right.
they would be held accountable for that, and that is one of the reason why brands are actually changing, diversifying into various segments. कि मैं एक प्रोडक्ट, देयर कैन नॉट बी वन प्रोडक्ट सेटिस्फाइंग ऑल. मार्केटिंग में हमेशा कहते हैं कि वन प्रोडक्ट कैन नॉट बी गिविंग यू ऑल द काइंड ऑफ सोल्यूशन विच यू वांट. सो विथ एवरी चेंज इन इनकम लेवल, एज ग्रुप, okay, climate, maybe if climate is one of the this thing clause for you, ठीक है, with every change in these minute details you can start a new brand and you can compete, you can offer something for different people having different needs. So अब आपके पास हिमालय का शैम्पू भी है, हम हिमालय का स्किन केयर ये भी है, केसर भी है, हल्दी भी है, क्योंकि हर एक चीज़ के लिए अलग अलग बनाया गया है.